Try to read this word. No, it's not goaty or gaudy, but rather fish. Frankly speaking, this is not a real word in the English language, but merely a phonetic joke that exposes the sheer absurdity of English reading rules, or rather the lack thereof. In this case, GH is pronounced as f, as in the word rough, O as in I, as in women, and TI as in sh, as in nation. Have you seen these symbols and slashes? This is what we call transcription. In English, where spelling and pronunciation live entirely separate lives, it serves as a GPS navigator on your journey to correct pronunciation. It is highly convenient. One symbol equals one sound. This eliminates all the confusion of English orthography and provides a clear understanding of pronunciation. All these symbols and sounds are collected within the International Phonetic Alphabet, or IPA. Again, very often, phonetic sounds differ from the spelling, but it wasn't always this way. The English language is divided into three major periods: Old English, Middle English, and Modern English. We speak Modern English today. It is the version taught in schools, encompassing all its contemporary dialects and manifestations. The older versions of English differ quite drastically from the modern one. For instance, there were 3 genders, masculine, feminine, and neuter, as well as cases, meaning the form of a word would change depending on the context to agree with other words. And most importantly, the reading rules. There were none. Words were read exactly as they were written. That is, the word name was pronounced as name. During the bubonic plague, the mid-14th century, when Middle English was spoken, between 30 to 50% of the population perished. This led to the mingling of speakers of various regional dialects as people from different areas settled the desolate lands, which disrupted standard linguistic norms. It is believed that the bubonic plague indirectly contributed to this process by causing mass mortality, human displacement, dialect mixing, and the severing of linguistic continuity, all of which accelerated linguistic shifts. By the way, the famous phrase, "bless you," also has roots tied to the bubonic plague. It is an abbreviation of God bless you. For an explanation of why it is bless and not blesses, refer to one of our previous videos. Sneezing was considered the first symptom of plague infection, so this phrase, introduced by Pope Gregory the Great, served as a quick prayer for the salvation of the dying person's soul. Danusia Lemaris wrote about this in her poem Small Kindnesses, or how strangers still consonants. Simply put, vowels are sounds during which the airflow passes freely out of the mouth. The organs of speech do not obstruct it. The organs of speech include the respiratory system, the vocal apparatus, and the oral cavity. Consonants are sounds produced by creating a barrier to the airflow using various organs of speech, whether it be the lips, teeth, or tongue. Today's lesson is dedicated precisely to them, the consonants. The vertical columns in the IPA chart indicate which organs of speech produce the sound, moving deeper into human anatomy, that is, first the lips, then the teeth, then the alveoli, and so on. The horizontal columns indicate the manner of articulation of a given sound, meaning nasal sounds, fricatives, affricates, etc. First, by manner of articulation are the orals or stops, also known as plosive consonants. Not entirely clear, right? This means that we inhale air and are ready to produce a sound, but using certain organs of speech, we block the airflow, forming a so-called dam. Then the dam bursts and the sound violently escapes outward. The first sounds in the chart are p and b. By the way, all sounds here come in pairs: a voiceless sound, no vocal cord vibration, and a voiced sound, vocal cords vibrate, assuming such a pair exists, of course. The position of the speech organs remains identical. The only difference lies in the voicing. Above them, in the vertical columns, it says labial, and slightly lower, bilabial. This signifies that both lips participate in the pronunciation. Pack, back. Pay, bay. B were bilabial, meaning the two lips blocked the air to form the sound, then in the case of the four lingual sounds t and d, the barrier to the air is created by the tongue, whose tip touches and then releases from the alveolar ridge. The alveolar ridge is the small bump located just behind your upper front teeth. Town, down. Tie, die. Next come the velar sounds, k and g. Above them, it says backlingual, meaning the barrier to the airflow is created by the back part of the tongue rather than the front, as was the case with t and d. These sounds are velar, which means the tongue, specifically its back part, must touch the soft palate, which is located alveolar, meaning the tip of the tongue touches the alveolar ridge, the bump behind the upper front teeth. But the tip of the tongue doesn't just touch and release from the alveoli to let air pass through a narrow gap. It completely blocks the air at the alveolar ridge, forcing the air to escape through the nose. Night, dinner, open. In combinations like NT or ND, as in winter and candy, where the flap takes on the nasal quality to form the sound. U, cure, few. Ul is a voiced alveolar consonant produced by placing the tip of the tongue against the alveolar ridge while air flows around the sides. It functions as a consonant made with minimal obstruction, approximant, commonly appearing as either a clear ul sound before vowels, e.g. light, or a dark ul sound before consonants, e.g. ball. Compare the two sounds, lent, rent, collect, correct, play, pray. That's it. Control your phonetics, because in a world where death does not cover its tracks, your pronunciation is either your alibi or your main clue.